today is already here. Our speaker for today is here, and I'll quickly read the profile for our speaker. Yes, it's a good time to clap. I'll read the profile of our speaker for today. So, our speaker for today is Mr. Oluseyi, Mr. Oluseyi Akindeyinde. I'm so sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrongly. He is the founder of Hyperspace and Neural AI. With about 25 years of expertise in the technology and information security sectors, I dedicated a large portion of my early professional journey to understanding and addressing the security challenges within electronic funds transfer and financial transaction system, FTS. I have had the privilege to share the findings of my comprehensive research work at an array of esteemed conferences and with prestigious organizations such as NSA, CBN, ISSAN, CCIBN, CBIN, EFCC, NSC, EPPAN, and the executive councils and senior management of numerous financial institutions across Nigeria. I also honorably serve as an advisor to the Nigerian E-Front Forum, NEFF, a broad-based initiative by the CBN. Beyond my advisory role, my expertise has been sought by entities from various sectors, including finance, manufacturing, oil and gas, telecommunication, media, as well as state and federal government agencies. I have regularly provided enlightening presentations on current cybersecurity issues to the National Assembly, Defense Intelligence Agency (DIA), and Office of the National Security Advisor (NSA). Recently, I have immersed myself in the realm of Web3, blockchain, and smart contract technology, concentrating on harnessing these innovative systems to enhance internet security. My particular focus lies in applying these technologies to advance web and product authentication, as well as identity and access management. I have a strong passion for establishing and developing tech startups. I'm especially excited about two tech startups in which I am involved. The first, Hyperspace Technologies, known for its groundbreaking product, Cipher Key Tap to Sign. Our innovative patented product, Cipher Key Tap to Sign, with registered patent number NGT 2023/240 and trademark file number NG/TM/O/2023/110226, harnesses NFC microchip technology to offer a passwordless, contactless, and trustless multi-factor authentication, identity and access management for web-based applications. Our patent-pending technology, BioKey, also leverages biometrics with public keys for a seamless zero-knowledge MPC authentication. Neural AI, the second startup, provides a fully integrated AI infrastructure to streamline workflows and boost employee productivity with AI-driven automation and decision support tools for enterprises. We also offer training of deep learning models for use in different industry verticals projects powered by our AI innovation stack, sorry, Bionic Box and reactor leveraging our neutral loop TM, DRAG patent pending technology. We also sponsor a weekly AI educational series on radio. Experience Neural AI founder December 2023 to present. Enterprise Enterprise generative AI for the enterprise through our own premier solution called Bionic Box. Hyperspace Technology founder January 2021 to present. Lagos State, Nigeria. Hyperspace Technologies is a Web3 blockchain, artificial intelligence, and software company specializing in technologies for the forthcoming industrial revolution. We are dedicated to ensuring that businesses and industries are able to effectively harness the true powers of these technologies to maximize their values of their assets. By leveraging Web3, we provide innovative and forward-looking solutions that align with the latest trend and advancements in the digital world. Our products include Key Master Vaults, our sleek and durable Web3 smart security module that utilize NFC technology and blockchain-based connect standard to provide secure and convenient authentication, message signing, and digital asset storage. Secure key management done right. Cipher key tap to sign. The Cipher Key Tap to Sign TM is a groundbreaking MFA technology that leverages the security of public or private keys, blockchain, Web3 technology, and contactless near field communication NFC cards. It utilizes the concept of proof of possession and a fourth factor authentication, in quotes, something you do. Cipher chip tap to verify. The Cipher chip tap to verify system presents a novel approach to product authentication by integrating near field communication, NFC tags, non-fungible tokens, NFTs, and blockchain technology for product provenance and authentication. I'm sorry. So please, ladies, can we make welcome our speaker for today? Can we make welcome our speaker for today? I'm sorry, please. Okay,
Yeah, thank you
let's.
very much. Um, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, we can hear
Yes,
you.
All right. Thank you very much for that wonderful introduction. I'm not so used to my profile being read out.
Dr. Shay, we can't hear you.
Dr. Shay, we can't hear
Can you,
you.
can you hear me now?
Yes, we
Yes,
can.
sir.
Okay, sorry. I think the mute just went on. Okay, so I said I really want to say a very big thank you to Mrs. Deborah for giving me this opportunity, for sending me an invitation to talk to very privileged. When I was I read engineering in school, and I had some friends who were studying law. And the joke was that if you read any other course other than law, you are educated. But when you read law, you are learned. So there's a difference between being educated and being learned. So say it's a privilege to be speaking to these learned people, and to give our own insights into technology and the future of work, the future of industries, and what essentially, like you read in my profile, we build for the fourth industrial revolution. And a few things that we think obviously will change as we go forward. And it's not just going to affect the legal profession or the tech profession. It's going to permeate, it's going to seep through every single profession. Just the same way the internet came along and it literally changed, the face of work. Now we can work from home. Now we can actually have a conference like this, and we can all be in our separate locations. We can be in a separate, I'm sure some people are probably outside the country, some people are in another state, and we can all come together, through one platform and educate ourselves, leveraging the technology of the internet. And this one, the topic I've been giving is on artificial intelligence and the future, of work, the future of education, the future of, the transformation of, industries. And that's what I'll be speaking about. Again, I want to say it's a privilege to be here, and I hope to sort of add one or two things to all the things you've been learning in the past. I hope I can share my screen. Let me see if I can share my screen. Okay. Let me share my screen. Okay. I'll go straight to. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir, we can see your screen.
Okay. So basically, I'm going to be speaking on AI and automation. I want to believe that a lot of us here are students, or final year students, or you're starting careers and all that, so that I'll better I'll know how to tailor the presentation a little bit more to fit into the demographics of people we have. But the topic at hand is AI and automation, transforming industries and the future of work. Now, I'll be given an hour and a half to speak, but what I decided to do was, instead of having to, in technology, there's usually this thing we say about the what to do. There's something, what to do, and then there's another component of how to do it. So instead of talking, yes, I'm going to talk about some, of what to do, but I'm mainly going to turn this into some kind of workshop, because I know that as students, or as legal people, legal professionals, there are certain things that there are certain things you're already doing. So I'm not going to be here telling you about what you're doing. I want to tell you about how AI is going to affect, your industry. And we're going to be looking at it from a very practical and hands-on, perspective. But before we get in there, I said by way of introduction, we're going to just look at, for the legal professionals, understanding the changes, the coming changes to your profession is very, very important. And from here, you begin to see the integration of AI and automation and how it will affect, your industry. And in fact, what I even think is, at some point, I think in the introduction, somebody was saying that she's doing a final year project on technology and law. One of the things that we also want to, or that I hope to do, by the way, I have my colleague in the house as well. Her name is Chidera Ayanebichi. She's the general manager of Hyperspace. She's in operations, and she does a lot of all these customer facing things. So I don't know if you can just give her a warm welcome as well. She's on the call. Thank you very much. So as we delve into this comprehensive presentation, we will explore the current applications, the implications, and the future outlook of AI in law. And then we're also going to try and offer insightful and thought-provoking perspectives. And like I said, we want to also spark that curiosity, that interest in people. That, you see, the way technology is a leveler. So technology itself is infusing a lot of different industries. And I'm going to be showing you examples of how, even if you're a final year student, how you can be thinking of infusing technology with whatever you are doing, because that is what is going to stand you out. The traditional way of doing things, the traditional way, and it doesn't even matter the industry, the traditional way of doing things, of doing law, of practicing politics, or practicing medicine, they are all being thrown out of the window, and we're now getting more into people who are using technology. And you see, the good thing about this artificial intelligence is that it's not the sole purview of computer scientists. It's not the sole purview of engineers. Again, anybody can actually leverage it. And I'll quickly give you a bit of a background on AI. You see, we're all talking about AI now. I got into AI about 10 years ago when it wasn't popular. It was called machine learning at the time. You see, but machine learning, you see, I've been practicing technology for 25 years, and you see that there are two broad categories of data. There is structured data, and then there is unstructured data. Now, the reason why we had machine learning at the beginning was that it was popular for structured data. So when you have data that is structured, that has some form of, what is structured data? Structured data is simply data that has form. So when you have data in Excel, for instance, for people that work in Excel, you find out that Excel is a very structured application. You have columns, you have rows, so you can do analysis because the data is pretty much structured. Everything in row 1 would match with row 2. You have the same columns, you have rows, you have columns, and then you can do analysis. So you can actually use machine learning. Machine learning is just simply advanced statistics, pattern recognition. You see, but if you look at the way the world is only made up of 20% structured data. The vast majority of data on the internet that we produce is unstructured data. That means that data that has no form, data that has no structure in any way. As we are here now, as I'm talking now, I'm producing unstructured data. When you write an email, it is unstructured data. When you write a legal agreement, it's unstructured data, because one legal agreement is different from another legal agreement. When you browse the internet, the data you are looking at is unstructured. Video is unstructured. Text is unstructured. So that's what, when you chat, is unstructured. That constitutes the vast majority of data that is on the internet. Now, how do you harness the power of artificial intelligence to sort of bring some kind of structure to this unstructured data? And which is why over about 2 years ago, generative AI became very popular through what is called a transformer model. In 2017, a group of Google researchers took this problem head on, that look, we have a lot of structured data, which is just 20%. To be honest with you, not a lot of people, apart from people in the domain of computer science, mathematics, and the sciences, engineering, actually process structured data. So structured data, you can put them in databases like SQL servers. You can use Excel. You can use a lot of these business intelligence tools to analyze them. But they now looked at it and said, but the vast majority of data that people produce all over in the different industries happen to be unstructured data. So you're talking about climate, you are talking about legal data that we are focusing on today. You're talking about, government data. You're talking about people's, PIIs, personally identifiable information. You're talking about compliance data. So this data now forms about over 80%. So they looked at it and they took the problem head on and said, what can we do to be able to give an opportunity to leverage this unstructured data to derive intelligence? Because at the end of the day, think about it, the reason why we don't have a lot of intelligence from our data is that there's no way by which you can put, say, for instance, now, even on your laptop, on your phone or on your laptop, if you use it, you find out that you generate data every day. So today, you have WhatsApp data. Tomorrow, you have email data. You have notes, that you are taking. You have, even as we are doing this workshop now, the way you are taking your notes is different from the way another person will take, their notes. You are generating this data, but the truth is, there is no way by which you can correlate a lot of this data to derive intelligence from it, because they are all unstructured. So they did that research and they came up with what they call attention is all you need. That's the paper. And they built this transformer model. Transformer model is simply a way to train all the data in the world and make it, derive intelligence from it. By the way, artificial intelligence itself is simply non-human intelligence. So any intelligence that we have that is not derived by a human being. However, the way they got the non-human intelligence was actually from humans. So AI, anytime you hear AI, just think about it as, data that they've trained from me, from you, from everybody, they've put together and they found patterns within the data to be able to derive intelligence, which is why that generative AI and large language models now became the operating system of the generative AI. An operating system is simply like, I'm sure we all use Android. It's an operating system. It's something that that gives you access to broad base of what you can do. So it's like a platform. So that's why we now have these large language models. And I'm sure every one of us here has used one form of large language model or not, whether you are using chat GPT or you are using Claude or you're using, whatever you're using, but I'm sure we've all used that. So what you are essentially doing is you are using a large language model through, OpenAI chat GPT. So that's basically how AI has come. And you see, when it came, it took the world by surprise. And that's why it is now infusing every sector. And in this workshop, like I said, I'm going to make it a workshop as opposed to just me speaking, so that we can all see practical application. And from here, I hope maybe students who are in maybe level 100 or 200 or 300 or 400 level can begin to look at, even if your final year and even if you're a legal professional working, you can now begin to see how AI can infuse whatever you're doing. And that's what I hope to sort of achieve with this. So, like I said, AI is going into various industries. We are seeing it in manufacturing. I was watching a YouTube video, I think last week or 2 weeks ago, and I was watching how they manufacture the fuselage of an airplane. A lot of these things are being done now by robotic processes. There are robots doing it, because guess what? Technology is here. And when you have AI is disruptive. AI is itself, artificial intelligence is what we call disruptive technology. It's different from other kinds of incremental technologies. So when you say something, when you say a piece of technology is disruptive, what we essentially mean is that it can do something faster, better, and cheaper than a human being would. So whenever you have a piece of technology that can do something faster, better, cheaper, before now a technology isn't considered disruptive, because most times you find out that when they usually do 2 out of the 3. So you find out that a lot of the new technologies that we've been using, it's either they do something faster, better, but it won't be cheap. It will be expensive. That was what happened when computers came as well. It would do word processing faster, it would do it better, but it wasn't cheap. Or it will do it faster, cheaper, but it won't be, better. Or it will do it better, cheaper, but it won't be faster. But now we have a unique piece of technology that marries, the 3 facets of being, faster, cheaper, and better than how a human being, will do it. That's why they're using it in manufacturing. They're using it in healthcare, for using it to diagnose diseases. I'll give you an example. During COVID, just as COVID was starting in 2020, about 4 years ago, around about 2 or 3 months or 4 months into COVID, a Kenyan medical doctor, he was residing in Kenya, my friend, he just sent me a message that, look, is there a way that they can use artificial intelligence to sort of detect COVID, that virus in people, because at the time, remember when COVID came, Africa here didn't have the testing kit. We didn't have the test kit. We didn't have that the machine to diagnose, COVID. So he just asked a very innocuous question, and I went, I've been practicing AI. He said, oh yes, we can actually use something called computer vision. So what he decided to do was he wrote hospitals abroad, because at that time they already had COVID patients, so they already had the radiographs or the X-rays of chest of people that had COVID, and he asked them for the scans, and they sent the scans to him, and we're able to train an AI model that would, on those scans that could recognize COVID, the COVID traces in them. And then, whenever a patient came in, he would just take the scan of their chest, compare with what he had, and then the thing will tell him, the AI will tell him whether the patient was a COVID patient or not, without necessarily using test kits. So you can start to see how AI can infuse, healthcare. The same thing in agriculture. I mean, we're talking about things like drones and Internet of Things now with sensors. AI is using is leveraging that for things like analytics, monitoring crop health, and improving, things like yield, production. Now we come to the legal profession, the AI in law. Up until now, I don't think, in Africa here, we have a lot of AI in the legal profession. That's because, AI primarily has been the domain of, practitioners, computer scientists, engineers, programmers, and all that. But what we're here to tell you is that, you see, you don't have to be a coder. You don't have to be a programmer to get into AI. And the good thing about AI is, I always say, any piece of technology exists for three things. Number one, does it make money? You have a piece of technology does it make money for the organization? Number two, does it save money? Does it affect bottom line? Does it make me, do things cheaper? And number three is, which is I would say the major one, is, does it solve a problem? And there are tools now that you can use. I'm going to be explaining one or two of them to you now, and how you can use it even as you are whether you are a student, or you're a legal practitioner, or you are not, or you just like technology and you want to see how to use AI to solve even problems that you are facing or you are seeing. We're going to be looking at it, and I'm going to give you a few examples of tools. You see, technology is blurring a lot of things. When people say AI is, one of the things you hear people say is, oh, AI is going to take our jobs, AI is going to turn us into, zombies and all that. No, the thing about it is, AI, as good as I am in AI, I do not know the legal profession. You know the legal profession. So it's easier for you to use AI to solve problems in the legal profession than it is for me to use AI to solve it. Which is why I always say it's better for, technology people it's better to train someone with domain expertise. So if you're in, maybe you are a litigator, or you are you practice law, you're in contract law or whatever, it's better for a contract lawyer to learn the nuances and subtleties of AI than for an AI practitioner to learn the nuances of law. So it's easy for someone who is already a domain expert to take AI on board. In fact, a lot of the AI applications, a lot of the AI usages were built by lawyers. And I'm going to explain to you why you don't even have to be, a developer. You don't have to learn coding, because you see, with generative AI, there's something called natural language, processing. What that means is that you can literally use natural language. Natural language is simply English language, whatever language, to develop anything you want. You can basically think it and it will be there. You don't have to understand coding, which is why it is going to change a lot of industries. And I have a few examples here. There was a company in the US, a group of lawyers. They actually, in fact, what we are even seeing is that law firms, law organizations would also morph. The dynamics will change, so that law firms will sort of become technology companies as well. Because with the way AI is going, any law firm, any legal entity, anybody who is into, even if you are in media and communications, or you are in, arts, you are in, you are an economist, AI is the person who is using AI is going to trust you if you're not using it, because, like I said, AI is going to supercharge. It's going to make you do things faster, better, cheaper. So we have examples like Case Text. Case Text was recently acquired by Thomson Reuters for about 650 million because they built a simple case management tool that lawyers were using, and they were lawyers that built it. So we're going to be looking at some of the functionality of that tool and actually use tools like that. I mean, I'm going to show you an example. Like I said, this is an introduction. We're just going to get into the workshop bit, in a little bit. And they built tools for automating legal tasks. So these tools enhance efficiency especially in contract and document review processes. So we're going to be looking at how you can leverage AI, even as you are a student there. I mean, perhaps you see, the good thing about law is that it is text dense. It is document heavy. It is documented. Like, you deal with a lot of written text. You deal with it, and then you not just written text. You need to correlate. You need to collaborate. You need to infer. You need to, it's not just that you are looking at one agreement or you are looking at one document. You need to infer things from multiple case files. You need to look at what has happened before. You need to look at the previous. So how do you do this? Yes, human beings have been doing it, but now there's a tool that allows you to actually do a lot. So, and you see, I also draw parallels, between the legal profession and the computer science profession. Now, you see, the only difference is that in computer science, what we write and what we review is code. We review code, JavaScript, Java, HTML, PHP, But at the end of the day, we still write code. And you see, this code too, it's not like it's one file. When you write an application, you have multiple files and you have functions, you have methods, you have variables. Those are the same things that you have in law. So when you're writing a contract, a variable is, say, buyer and seller, for instance. They are variables. You have functions, clauses, for instance. So the only thing is that we are dealing with code, but you are dealing with natural language, English language. So there are parallels to a lot of the things that we do. It's just that the way we do it is, or what we do it on, the data we do it on is just what is different. So that's why AI, I even think that the industry that will benefit the most from artificial intelligence is going to be the legal profession. It's going to transform, your sector. Just watch it within the next 2 to 3 years. If you're not in AI, especially as you are in school now, you have to start looking. In fact, one of the things I also do is I go to a lot of universities to sort of try to see how we can bake in, artificial intelligence and all these emerging technologies into every single course being offered, not just as a department, but as a course being offered to every student, just like we do GST or all these courses in year one. It has to be built in because we have to start seeing how AI will transform all these industries, and that's how Africa can advance to the next level. So we're going to be looking at how AI can be used in document reviews, how it can be used in things like analytics, and what are the benefits. Some of the benefits include increased productivity. Your work is things that used to take 1 week will now be taking maybe less than 10 minutes, and you're going to see how it is. It's going to be another benefit is cost efficiency. The automation of routine tasks. When you are able to automate, remember, this is AI and automation. That means that automation simply means that you are transforming data from one format to another format that is digitally representable, and then that you can derive intelligence from. That's simply what automation is. You're just moving data from one, just the same way, like when I was growing up, when these days we have Netflix. When I was growing up, if you wanted to watch a movie, you had to go to a video club, go and rent the tape, come home, put it, return it. But now everything has been automated. I don't need to leave my house. I can put on my TV and watch any movie. In fact, it is now serve yourself, now self-service. I choose what I want to watch, when I want to watch it, how I want to watch it. It is Uber. It's the same thing with Airbnb. Now technology is coming to us as support. That's really what automation is. It's just to make things faster, and it's going to enhance accuracy. It's going to take out the manual. Sometimes when you're writing document, let's say for instance now you're writing a template for that agreement, and you open your Microsoft Word and you want to change maybe the buyer, maybe you have a buyer seller agreement, so you want to change the buyer from Sheyi to another person. You just do your control find. Sometimes you may miss some you may miss some keywords, you may miss some semantic nuances within the document. So sometimes I get a legal agreement that is supposed to be for my company, and it is all in the body of the message is carrying another company's name. I have to tell the lawyer, oh, please change it. Look, those are they are not earth-shattering errors, but those are things that AI would help you solve in next to no time. So it's going to enhance your accuracy. And then obviously in doing a lot of all these things as well, we need to consider ethical considerations and some of the challenges that we still have in AI. And some of them is client confidentiality. How do you still maintain client confidentiality, ensuring data security, maintaining confidentiality, part of what we have to also protect against in AI. Then there are also biases and discrimination. If you use ChatGPT, for instance, if you go and ask ChatGPT for certain legal terms or certain legal nuances, it probably doesn't know. You probably give you the one, the one in the United States and all that. But that's because of the data it was trained on, because this data is biased. So we are going to look at how we can leverage that AI data that is resident on our own, that we know that we can consult accurate information. And then of course like transparency, showing clear guidelines and structures and information, that AI is transparent and it's something good decision making, that is supposed to give
So I think the line is breaking and
Oh.
we can't hear you very well. No, sir, it's breaking. Okay, I think it's better now.
It's better now?
Yes, sir.
You can hear me
It
now?
is.
Okay.
Yes,
okay.
sir, we can.
All right. Okay. Let me just continue then. Okay. So then obviously with AI, there's still going to be human in the loop. So there's still going to be humans who will make the judgment. So we have to also be concerned with the over reliance on technology, and then we also have to structure in such a way that it's human computer interaction. So it's not just AI going to be making these decisions. Yes, in certain parts of the world, like in the US, they already have things like driverless cars that AI is piloting. We already have autopilot on planes, but we still have drivers, we still have pilots who are still controlling these things. And then obviously humans still have to maintain core skills of understanding, because at the end of the day, AI is only as good as the data you feed it and the way you prompt it. That's how it works. And obviously we talk about regulation as well for people, for government. The regulatory landscape is also going to change. We're also going to be looking, it's going to affect our current current regulation, the legal frameworks guiding AI. And I tell you a funny thing. I think we're all lawyers here, but one of the things that I realized is that in my profile, you read that we have a lot of patent pending. And the problem is we have 2 patents at the moment, and I know how long it took us to get the patent, because I don't think the Nigerian provision, the legal provision, it has provisions for technology innovations. So such that when you innovate, when things come, it takes a long time for you to get approval for patents, and one of it is AI. So we have a few AI patents that are still waiting, and the challenge is that I don't think the lawyers are upskilling enough to know that in fact the patent we have was even given to us under another subheading, which is not really what you will expect. So I think this is a good thing that a lot of lawyers also have to upskill and start to understand emerging technologies, not just from a utilization and usage point of view, but from some kind of innovative point of view, such that when innovations come, because at the end of the day, we can't innovate when we can't protect our intellectual property. So, and the only way we can protect our intellectual property is through all these patent, copyrights, and trademarks and what have you. And if we're not able to get them, in our country, then we cannot really, say we are innovating. So those things will have to change. Compliance will have to change, and obviously with future developments. And then, like I said, it's going to change the way we work. It's going to have an impact on your traditional, so what you're currently doing. So if you look at all the things you do, whether as students practice or as practicing legal professionals, AI is going to come and infuse a lot of those things. So if you are doing things like repetitive tasks, lawyers will now be free to engage in more strategic and client focus. So you're going to be more creative because AI will now be doing a lot of those rote tasks that you're doing. There'll be new roles now. Where, in fact, I know that in Dubai and a few other Middle East countries, they already have ministries of artificial intelligence. A lot of organizations are already having chief AI officers, because there are going to be new roles. We're going to have, I think going further, like even going to be roles like intelligence lawyer, a machine learning legal expert. We're going to have those new roles. So we're going to have people who are
Sorry, sir.
Yeah.
Sorry to cut you. The line was breaking again.
Wow.
I don't know if you can go back.
Okay. Let me. Coming. Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
we
I
can.
can hear you now.
Okay. Okay. So, like I said, it's going to have an impact on traditional role jobs. So, like I said, we're going to have people who are now AI lawyers, AI legal professionals. So they will understand enough of artificial intelligence to be able to do legal practice. So you have, you're going to have machine learning legal experts, all those kinds of things. Those are going to be new rules. We're going to have legal AI legal research assistants, that are going to just be using these tools to do, research. And then even billing models will change. How you bill clients would, literally change overnight because of artificial intelligence. Now, some of the use cases in the legal profession would include things like AI research, AI assisted research, where you have tools that would accelerate legal research by quickly sifting through massive, databases of, the unstructured data that you have, and will enable lawyers to efficiently gather relevant, case information. And obviously, it also enhance agreements writing, writing processes, drafting legal documents, generating suggestions, and improving, clarity. Now, I think it's a good time to sort of go into like I told you at the beginning, what I want to do with this is sort of to make it so, by way of just doing some practical illustrations of the use cases. Now, I came up when I was, doing research for this. I'm not a lawyer, by the way. I'm just an AI practitioner, but I'm going to be speaking to legal practitioners. So I thought, what use cases? We have the, technology. So what use cases can law firms do? So, I got a few use cases. So I don't know if you can see my screen. So I was like, okay, some of the few use cases we can look at: contract reviews, document generation, legal research. So I just came up with, some ideas that we're going to be working through, and how AI can, help you in a lot of this. We're not going to go through everything. We're just going to pick about 3 or 4 of them, depending on time, and we're going to see how it works. So the first one is this. Now, one of the things I want us to, by the way, we're going to be using an application that for people who are interested, who want to use it to solve their own problems. We'll tell you at the end on how to acquire it, how to get it, and all that. It's by us, our company Neural AI, which is a research company. So I said here that let's look at one of the things you do is things like agreements. Okay, so you review agreements, or you do detailed agreement analysis. So one thing I went online. I went to look for, just to be able to do some demos to you. I went online and I got a few things. So let's look at a typical agreement. I just went online. This is actually gotten online. So this is an agreement between a company, the Nigerian bulk trading, and a bulk supplier, a seller of bulk electricity. So this is the document that, so let's say, for instance, now I am the lawyer of this of this Nigerian bulk electricity, and I'm supposed to review, this agreement. Now this document is 109 pages. It is, yes, somebody has to read the entire document, but you see, I have a short period of time. I still want to know, this law, this agreement, what is there, and I see where, there's some processes or there's things that are not, what you're going to learn when you do this kind of thing, especially if you want to get in AI. What's the natural? Please, I hope you hear me.
So the line is breaking again.
Let me see. Is it breaking for everybody, or is just you? I want to just know so that.
Please, if it's breaking on your end, can you drop a comment?
Yes, breaking. Like I should.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's breaking.
Let me see if I can use another connection. 1 second, please. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, sir, we can.
Okay, I just changed my provider. Okay, all right. So what I was saying, was I came up with some. I went online because obviously, like I said, I'm not a lawyer, but I am an AI practitioner. And I wanted to, explain to you how you can use AI. So I went online and I said, okay, let's look at a typical agreement that lawyers, work with. So I got this online. I just Googled a sample purchase agreement, and I saw this power purchase agreement, which is, it's a demo. It's like you said, it's just for discussion. It's between a Nigerian bulk electricity and, let's say, a supplier of bulk electricity. Now imagine you're a lawyer and you just resumed at this law firm and you're supposed to review, this document. It's 109 pages, and you're supposed to review it and write a report, on your findings and your observations and what have you. Now, this is a 109 pages with about 23, clauses. Now, the truth is, in this day and age, now, of course, the old way would have been to go, put it in Microsoft Word and start to, track changes, look at it and read it, which might probably, for you to do this, might probably need a day or two or even 3 days for you to understand the document and then write your report. Now, I now looked at it now, and I was saying again that one of the things you will need to understand as an AI practitioner who wants to use AI in law is what we call natural language programming. Now, that programming is a bit like coding, like what we do, but instead of writing it in code, you write it in English. So a program is simply an itemized list of something to do, and we all do it every day. So if you have a to-do list, it's a program. If you have things that you when you wake up, you do things, you go from your bedroom to the bathroom, you have your bath, you go to the car, that's more like programming, but it's just that we're not writing it down. So the way to understand this is what people call prompt engineering, but we call it natural language programming, because you need to understand. That's why I said AI is the domain of it's going to be used by domain experts, not necessarily AI experts. So if I'm tasked with writing, reviewing these documents, how would I go about using AI. Now, this is where our prompt engineering comes in. So this is the agreement. This is the template. This is the programming language that I'm going to use for this agreement. So I say here that you are a highly, so this is what I'm going to tell the AI. You are a highly experienced legal expert specializing in energy contracts, particularly power purchase agreements. As the legal advisor to the hydroelectric tech, which is a bulk seller. Remember that this is the bulk buyer who is, this XXS is the hydroelectric tech. So this is the bulk buyer and this is the bulk seller. You have been tasked with reviewing the power purchase agreement, and your analysis should be thorough. So when you do your analysis, this is essentially what a human being will do. You will do a detailed clause analysis. You review each clause of the power purchase, and then you provide a brief summary of the clause. You will undo drag. A brief summary. You will do an assessment of the implication of that. You will do an identification of the potential risk, and then you suggest. Then you also do an unfavorable clause highlights. You highlight any clauses that that we don't find suitable in our company. You'd also do things like key areas of focus. You can see how it is. You can see the detail. So it's not just, I mean, I know you guys use ChatGPT, and you just go to ChatGPT and you just say, analyze this document for me. No, it is beyond that. You literally have to sit down and code. This is not code now. This is now in natural language. You go systematically, step by step, on what you want the AI to do. And the only person that can do this is a lawyer who understands what he should be doing. That's why AI is not going to come and take your job. It's going to leverage on your skill and power. But instead of you having to do this manually, because if you're doing this manually, this is essentially what you're going to be doing as you're reading the document. So you're going to be looking at key areas of focus within the document. Pricing, the take or pay provisions, force majeure, termination, performance guarantees, change in law provisions, dispute resolution, liability limitation, environmental compliance requirement, grid connection. Then you now go to the overall analysis of the report, how you want to structure the report. When you want to give, say your boss has asked you, or you have, you're supposed to write a report to analyze the legal document. And this is what you put in the report: executive summary, overview of the structure, PPA structure, and the key terms, detailed analysis of the major provisions, risk assessment, comparison with industry standard. Then you come with your recommendation, and then you write your proposal, the email. Now, if there are any unfavorable clauses, you also want to write the organization this bulk trading company, to say, okay, we found certain provisions that are not right, please clarify, or what have you. And then you put a legal. So essentially, this is what you create. You want to feed an AI agent on the documents that you have to do this. And how will we do that? Now, we have an app here, and I'm going to show us how it works. So I'm going to say here, so one thing you will do is, I already have the document in here. This is the document. Another thing you're going to learn in AI is document formats. You see, we don't normally use PDFs like that, because PDFs are not they are not standard. They don't understand machine learning. So you have to learn document conversion. You are going to learn things like, this is not a training by any way, in computer science, but we usually use what we call markdown. It's the same way when you are building websites. You don't usually, even if you have a website, you convert it into HTML. So we've created this. You now have the markdown. You can see the PDF document is 3.3 meg, and then the markdown format is 261 KB. It's smaller, and it allows you, because it's marked down, it takes a lot more of the metadata of that document. And you see, when you're talking about AI has what is called a context window and a context size. Just like when you're sending an email, you want to send an attachment. Nobody's going to attach a 1 gig file to an email, because emails you cannot just attach 1 gigabyte of files. You rather send it via another means on email. That's what we call context size. So there's a limit to the context in which an AI can take. So let's say we want to do this review of this contract, of this bulk purchase contract. How do we use AI to do it? It is very, very simple. It's just using a text analysis tool. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just say, open the folder or the file that that the document is in. Is very simple, just like we do with, I'll just open the agreement folder, and when I open it, I'll pick the file I want to, the folder itself. I can have multiple folders, and it will give me the agreement. This is the markdown format. Now, if I want to see it in the normal format, I can just click on this eye. So it gives me, now this is essentially this document that you're looking at, this agreement. Now, I have brought it into my workbench. This is my AI tool. Now, what do I want to do? I want to essentially tell it to review. So remember this that I typed, all these things, I will just copy it because this is the instruction, this is the code. This is what I want the AI to do. I'll just copy this. I have already, this is where a lot of my work has been. You can see, please ensure that your analysis is thorough, clear, and tailored. So think about it like you're giving an instruction to a legal assistant, essentially what to do. So when I copy it, I will come here. Now, because I have only one file, sometimes when you're analyzing case files, that sometimes within a folder you have multiple documents, maybe reference documents, maybe the contract document, maybe the proposal that was even sent to the company, but in this one I have one file. So I'm going to tell it here. Now this is where I want the AI to analyze. So below here there's a button called assistant panel. You see it as I'm pressing. Please, can you all hear me?
Yes,
I can hear you, sir.
All right, but I want you to follow along. So I want to engage my legal assistant.
Yes, I can hear you, sir.
Okay, so I want to engage my legal assistant now. So once I click on this, it brings up my legal assistant. Now I'm going to now use a model. I mean, this is the backend. This you don't really need to. This is a setting. Once you set it up, you have that. Now, but what I want to do is now I want to call this file. So I'll just type /. Now it has inbuilt tools that I can use to do document analysis, or that I can use to do a document, triangulate whatever I want to do with the document. So in this case, I want to call this hydro PPA file. So I'll do it, and it already understand that I have that file here, so I'll pick it. Now what I now want to do is give it an instruction of what I want to do. So I'll pick the file and I'll give it that instruction. Now the instruction is essentially what I copied. So once you see this here, so it's going to use this instruction on this file for me that I brought into my case, and then all I need to do is press enter, and then it will send. Then it will now go and engage and start to use the model to essentially follow the instruction that I have given it. And let's see what happens. So you can see what it's doing now. Now, based on, as you can see, it's generating it. It's everything. Just can see is analyzing all the clauses. Okay, you can see what it's doing, how fast it is. I'm going to show you a few things once it's done. So what it's essentially doing is following my instruction as an AI agent to analyze this document, this bit, and giving me, is reading the document and is following my instructions. Now it's almost done. Now you can see it's done. So what I'm going to do for you to see it well, I'm going to do something. I'm going to because when you're doing this analysis, one of the things you're going to learn is how to do document conversion. So it has given me again in markdown format. Now there's a markdown application that I have here. I'm just going to open a new folder. So that what it has given me, I will paste it. Now you see it in markdown. I can also view it in now this is what you are probably used to. So you can see it is now giving me. So look at what I told you to do. It should give me a detailed clause analysis. It should analyze unfavorable clauses. It should give me key areas of focus. It should do overall analysis reports. It should give me recommendation. It should also draft an email based on its findings to the company that is, that has issued this agreement on, our own findings. So this is what it's doing, what it has done. Now it has given me that executive report. It has done an overview of the structure and the key terms. It has now done a summary of the clause analysis. And then it has looked at all the clauses and giving me where it has seen, some like the price clause, it's seen the clause 20 force majeure, it's seen clause 17 and some of the clauses there. And then it's also highlighted some of the unfavorable clauses that it has seen, and also giving me key areas of focus that we need to focus on. It's done the risk assessment, and it's also done a comparison with industry standard as I have asked it, and also identified some missing and inadequately addressed issues. And then obviously the overall observation, and then the recommendation. Now it then goes further. Remember here I said it should also draft a response, an email, that I can just simply copy and paste to the bulk company, and it's also gone ahead to draft the agreement, and it's told them that, oh, thank you for sharing the draft of the proposal, we appreciate this thing. However, we are concerned with the price mechanism and adjustment provisions, we are concerned with the force majeure termination, and we're also concerned with the liability and indemnity, and then we would also appreciate scheduling meeting or a call. And then it instantly, just without me having to go through 109 pages, in less than 2 minutes, it has reviewed this contract document, it has pointed the key clauses that are not favorable, and has been able to not only that, generate an email that I can copy and paste and send, to them, all in 2 minutes using artificial intelligence. That is a fantastic use case that you can, so instead of wasting, time reading yes, sometimes, obviously, the only thing you have to do is probably review this and all that. But the time it would take, imagine if a human being had to do this, had to go through this process. But the AI was able to do this in next to no time, just using a tool, which is why, remember in my introduction, I told you of a company like this case text, for instance. They developed a product that was able to do document review. In fact, when I was doing my research, I also, sort of went to their website, and I just, read. This is essentially what the document does. And in fact, just recently, the company was bought for 650 million in cash. I mean, a company that just built an application that you can use to do, text document review. That's to tell you the innovation that is happening in this legal sector. If you bring AI on top of it, which is why I said at the end of the day, every legal company would probably have an AI product or an AI division where they are doing something like this. An example of that, there's another company, Lex Machine, there's Luminance, there are even a few others that are that I just saw. Some of them are raising ridiculous amounts of venture funding because they are building, I saw one here called Robin AI. Robin AI does essentially the same thing, and they have even recently just raised another 20 something million US dollars, all for you to be able to do things like document review. So as you can see, it's changing a lot of it's the dynamics of how law works. So getting back to the tool, so this is an example use case of how you can do an agreement document review. Now let's look at another example I came up with. So this is like an agreement. Now you have an agreement. Now another example I came up with is compliance and data protection. I also noticed that while doing my research for the talk, I also went to the Hilton Tops website, and I saw that there's some services they offer also include data privacy, data protection, cybersecurity, and compliance, and all that. So I said, okay, how could you use something like this for data protection? So what I decided to do is I said, look, imagine a situation where this is a template for that. So let's look at compliance. Now there's this company called this is another demo document. I saw it online. There's this company called Rehab My Patients. They are a medical facility, and they've just done a GDPR compliance. In Nigeria here it's called NDPR. Okay, so this is their report. Okay, so they've done an audit and they've done a compliance review, and this is the reports that they have. Now I now went to get the GDPR compliance checklist. So when you are doing compliance, you comply against something. So when you're doing an audit, for instance, now you audit against a certain standard. We do it in cybersecurity as well, where there is a standard of how things should be. Think about it like a building, for instance. Of course, when they are doing building, audit. So when you audit against this standard and you have your report, so you have your report, and we want to see how your report. Can you hear me?
Please, Edima, can you mute yourself? Thank you. Sorry,
Okay.
sir. Please go on.
Okay. So as I was saying, so let's say you work for a law firm and you have to audit against a compliance standard. So this company, they've done their GDPR audits, and then you want to audit against this standard. So typically what would happen is you have the checklist. So an auditor will come in and will be saying, okay, this is your report. Do you have this? Audit against the standard. That's the traditional role of, that. Now, however, we want to use AI to do it. Now, in the first example, when we looked at the agreement, we looked at just one document. Now, we are going to look at this example with two documents. This report, the GDPR report of this company, this medical company, and the compliance checklist to see how compliant they are. Again, if you are not a legal practitioner or you are not a compliance practitioner, you will find it difficult to create a framework that will allow you to give an AI to review for you. So I want to give an AI these two documents, and I want the AI to see how compliant this organization is with the standard, with the with the GDPR. Again, look at the programming. This is the natural language programming. This is the prompt engineering. It's not just you feeding it the document and say, please review. No, you won't get the best. So you have to meticulously understand the scope of what you want to do and give the AI the instruction. And as you can see here again, you can see we started by compliance audit table. So we said create a comprehensive table.
The line is breaking again. The line is breaking again, sir.
Is that breaking?
I want to know if it's from me or if it's general.
It's like it works for some time, then
What?
it will start breaking.
Okay.
Did you get? But it's fine now.
Okay.
I can
all
hear
right.
him well.
Okay. All right. So again, like I said, you want to start understanding the compliance. So I said here, first of all, do a compliance audit table. Create a comprehensive table with the following columns: checklist item, compliance status, whether they are compliant or not, the report reference, and then comments. Now, for each of the item in the GDPR compliance checklist, if you look at the checklist, they have a checklist of what you're supposed to do. Now, I want you to assess them, determine if the GDPR report addresses, the item in question, assess the level of compliance with that item, provide the exact location, that's page number and section in the GDPR report of this company where the item in the checklist is addressed, and then any relevant comments and including reasons for partial or non-compliance. Then you now go into a detailed analysis. By detailed analysis, we mean providing a thorough analysis of the report in relation to the compliance checklist, which includes an overview of the report structure and content, the identification of the areas where the report excels in addressing compliance requirements, the discussion of any gaps or areas needing improvement, analysis of reports over. So you can see, we're literally giving it step-by-step instruction of what to do. We're not just saying, this is it, go and run amok. So for you to even be able to prime it and prompt it, and I'm sure as you are going along, you will see that this is where you're going to spend a lot of the time, which is when you go to any AI conference, they're usually talking about things like prompt engineering and all that, because if you don't give it the right prompt, it's garbage in, garbage out. You won't get the right result, which is why a lot of people have not been getting, they have not been deriving, value from their AI implementations. So again, level 3, we now go to compliance status assessment. We go to recommendation, and then we tell you to provide us a summary. And in the end, we say you ensure that your analysis is thorough, objective, and provides a clear, actionable insight. And the good thing about AI, is that it is not biased. It's not like a human being. There's no, if you're not compliant, you're not compliant. If you are not meeting up with the standard, you are not meeting up with the standard. So again, another thing we're going to do, we're going to open our app again. Again, we go on to It's very simple. Open, we go to the folder where we have our compliance, and we pick the folder, you know, and we import the folder. So once we bring in the folder, you see again here, you will see the two documents, the compliance report and the compliance, you know, checklist. So these are the documents. I can convert it into, you know, so you can see the compliance report, everything is here. So what I want to do again is the same thing I did before. In this case, I'm going to pick the two. Now what we are doing now is a document comparison. So you have a checklist and you have a report. Again, the first thing is I'll call on the file. I'll tell you to, okay, pick the report, and then I'll call the checklist. So I want this, my prompting, this my programming that I have created here to work on those two documents. The good thing about AI is that it is going to know automatically, it will know which one is the report and which one is the compliance document. You don't have to tell it, oh, this one is the report, this one is the compliance document. It will, just by, you know, automatically it will know. So again, I'm going to give it that same, you know, prompt, the same programming, and I'll just say, you know, send. So let's see what happens. So you can see what it's already doing. It's already started the audit table. You remember the first thing we told you to do is to create comprehensive table, you know, with the following checklist, compliance status, and all that. So it will first do that. As it's doing that, it goes, it analyzes, you know, the document, and it does an overall assessment, and it's done with it. So again, I'm going to do this. I'm going to copy this. That's the output. And then again, I'm going to use in my document, and I'll paste the report. Then I'll just tell it to view preview. So you can see here, now, the first thing we asked it to do was what? To create a comprehensive table with the following columns: the checklist item, compliance status, the report reference, that's page number and section, and then, you know, comments. Let's see how it performed on that task. So you see it again, the checklist column, the compliance status, the report reference, and then, you know, the comments. So you can see here now, the checklist item from the GDPR standard says you must raise awareness about GDPR. Is the company in compliance? It says it is partial. It says why? Because it is not directly addressed. And the comment is that the report does not emphasize awareness raising at the company level. Then designating in-house responsibility is also partial. It is not addressed. So you can see at the end of the day, you know, they've done the report. In fact, the last one, they are completely non-compliant at all with for them keeping auditing and monitoring. If they are non-compliant, and because it is not addressed at all. Then it now goes on again. The second thing we said it should do, it should now do a detailed analysis for each of this. It should do a detailed analysis, you know, provide a thorough analysis of the GDPR in relation to the compliance checklist. Again, it goes in there to do. So you can basically see essentially how within 2 minutes, it's taking 2 reports of multiple pages, and it's been able, through prompting, through detailed prompting and analysis, gone through the document, and it's been able to, you know, come up with this. Even the overall assessment, it says the current GDPR compliance report indicates limited readiness, with much work needed in building a holistic compliance framework. For genuine preparedness, you know, the rate my company name should address strategic, procedural, and so that essentially is. So you can imagine what you do as legal experts, you know, doing multiple document review, calling one thing from another, and that's how you can infuse it in AI. So it's a bit like Q programming. In fact, this tool itself, you can even use it for things like coding as well as document analysis. Now, before we round off, I just want to there are a lot of examples I came up with here. Let's quickly look at one that I call sample NDA. Now, it's sample NDA is like a all of what we've been doing before now has been like, you know, passive reviewing documents and, you know, preparing reports. So I have a typical sample NDA here, a non-disclosure, you know, agreement that let me open it so that you see, you know, what is in that non-disclosure agreement.
We can hear you, sir.
Sorry, I'm trying to open. I'm trying to open the. I'm trying to open the non-disclosure agreement so that you see what I'm trying to do. I think I have the non-disclosure agreement somewhere here. So this is like a sample NDA, okay, a sample confidentiality and non-disclosure agreement. Now, we're not doing an analysis of it. We just want to see how we can leverage AI to, help us in, doing some kind of inline analysis. So I'm going to open this again. So this one is, I'm going to, the same thing I did before. I'll go to the file. I'll open the folder it's in. So I'll go to the NDA. I open the file. So this is the sample non-disclosure agreement. Now, you know how it is, like, one of the shortfalls of using Microsoft Word to analyze documents is that, let's say you have a document that in one pane you have I'm coming, 1 second, please. So you have this is the agreement. Now, let's say you are analyzing something on top here, and then you have a section that is called appendix, for instance, below, and you also want to see what is in the appendix. So let's say something is written on top here and it says, please check the appendix for full details. Now, you can only do that once, so you can scroll through the document and then go to the appendix section. You have to scroll to the end and then be scrolling back and forth. So let's say there's something I want to amend in the two places at once. Now, you can do split pane. So if I do this split pane now, I can do maybe, split pane up and down, such that I can now have two panes open for the same document. So I have a pane up here and I have a pane also here. So you see that it's the same document. So, but here I can be editing what is on top here and at the same time be confirming and editing what is below here. It's the same document, so it gives me multiple views to the same document. I can open as many panes as I want of the same document. So as I'm reading something on top, and if it says I should check the appendix, I can also do it. Another thing it also offers is, if you look at again, we're going to go to the assistant. So let's say I go to the assistant. Let me close this. Let me just use one document. So let's say I go to the assistant to help me now. Now, one of the things I can do, let's say for instance, I'm looking at this clause. I'm looking at this clause. Let me go to this clause. Let me just say a simple clause like this. Okay, I look at this clause. Let me close this. So if I look at this clause, right? Let's say I really do not understand what this clause is saying. I can simply, look at this clause and then say there's a button on top here. You see inline assist means I can just bring in an inline assist and say, please explain this clause or explain this to me, just in simple English. And then it will go in there. You can see what it's doing. It will explain it in simple English. So it will highlight the clause and to tell me that this, this clause simply means that the recipient should hold the confidential information in confidence and shall disclose any confidential information. In fact, if I wanted to reward that document, I can say rewrite the clause or rewrite the, section and be more, elaborate, for instance. And it will automatically, right in front of me, you can see, it rewrites it, and it is, and if I want to accept, if I read it and it is acceptable, I can just simply click like this. And if it's not acceptable, I can just simply click X. So you can see how you can narrow, you can literally use AI within a document. Now you are making changes to particular document. It can explain to you what that clause is. If there's a clause that is further down, if I can even say, is there, let me not accept this. I can say, for instance, I can even say something like, is this clause good or bad for me as the recipient? So it will look at that clause and it will simply explain it to me. You can see Yeah, recipient shall hold this, yeah. Okay, purpose, who have agreed in writing to the, you are bound by the, so the recipients are, so it actually explains it. So I say yes or no. Okay. So it simply analyzes it, and then it tells me, that agents are advisors who have, maybe I'm not asking the right question, maybe I'm not supposed, but because I'm not a lawyer would probably know, what to ask. But what I'm just trying to say is that you can literally give it any prompt. You can look at any prompt and do an inline analysis of, the prompt. I can look at this particular clause again and tell you to briefly, explain what this prompt and what this clause does. Briefly explain this in simple, plain language. And then, you can see what it's doing right in front of me. It is explaining it in simple, plain language that I can understand, to my, and then if I want to, I want to accept it, no, I will just say no. And that is how you can, there are all sorts of other things you can do. You can do, like, for instance, now, like in the other document where we were looking at, two folders. Now, let's say you're looking for, let me bring that up just to quickly round up before we round up because of time. So let's say I'm looking at this document that has two, files, and I want to search for a particular thing with across the two files. I can literally do that as well. So I want to search for maybe the occurrence of a particular thing across the two files. I can literally, just get the two files and search across them. We call it bulk search. And to search for a particular, like when you're doing search and replace within Microsoft Word, you can only do it across only one document. Imagine you have 3, 4, 5 documents and you want to search, maybe you want to replace a particular company name with another company name across 5 documents. You can do that here, and it will bulk replace them across all the documents that you have, so we call it inline buffer. Those are some of the things that you can do. This is not a training class, but we're just telling you that this is how you can leverage AI. I have a lot of other examples, but I think because of time, I will just continue with the slide, then round up, and then we take questions. So going further, I've looked at the a few of the examples here. Okay, we looked at this, so let me just continue from here. So that is now going further, like I said, developing AI literacy in legal education. You can see a lot of the things I've done as simple document manipulation that you can also use to speed up your work. And it doesn't matter whether you are, it doesn't just work for legal documents. Think about where you need other documents. Maybe you have, think about public policy, think about mass comm, think about the media that need to do a lot of, comparative analysis. Look at, even in technology as well, in finance, where you want to do, comparing annual general reports of banks, of companies, to derive intelligence for their IPOs and all those kinds of things you can leverage AI for. So you have going for that. Our curriculum has to be improved. We have to do curriculum integration. Like I said at the beginning, we have to do workshops and training for people. And then there has to be collaborative learning as well. AI has to come into law. AI has to infuse legal practice from the top to the bottom, because that's where you deal with the most dense, document. And these are some of the strategies for continuous learning and adaptation. You also have to, apart from university and school, you also have to go for courses. A lot of these things like this. These are tools that you can learn. These are things that you can use that will speed up, your work, professional development. You have to adapt to change and also do things like, of course, networking and meeting people and be able to apply your knowledge. And obviously, you also have to balance your AI integration with your core legal skills. And as you've seen, for you to even be able to do the prompting, for you to be able to do the coding, of what you want the AI to do, you have to have domain knowledge. If you don't know anything about compliance, there's no way you're going to tell AI to help you. AI is not just going to help you. It's not just going to do the job. You have to feed it the right information. If you don't know how to, look for what to check for in agreements, AI is not going to help you. So what you're going to be spending your time doing is learning things like natural language programming, prompt engineering, and tools like this, document conversion, document analysis, document manipulation. And then you also have to look at AI as a tool. You have to view AI as a tool rather than replacement for any legal practitioner, because at the end of the day, you still have to use your human judgment and expertise, especially in complex cases. And obviously, upholding professional ethics and responsibility, still remains your paramount responsibility, ensuring that the AI usage aligns, with established, standards. I think that's the end of my presentation, and I thank you for attending. Open to question and answer. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. This was a very practical and interesting session. I I used AI when I was doing my project in 500 level, so I didn't even know we could do something like this, like the way you explained it and the practicals that you were showing us. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome.
Okay,
You're welcome.
ladies, the floor is open for questions. If you have any question, raise your hand and we'll acknowledge you. Then you can ask your questions. Is there anyone that has a question? I'll call out. This you cannot tell me that you don't have a question. You cannot say you don't have question. No, I'll call. I'll just call names. Okay, it's as if I'll call names like this. Okay, I'll call Edinma. Okay, Miss Sarah has her hands up. Miss Sarah, please.
Uh, okay, can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we
Yes,
can
you
hear
can.
you.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. That was fantastic. That was amazing. And let me say this from the place of the volunteer program coordinator. I think that this session is so enlightening that we're still trying to really absorb everything we learned. Even me myself, like I'm literally going to sit down with a replay of this session and like digest it one after the other. So I'm just going to ask for, because I noticed that you were using different platforms, so to say. So I wanted to get the specific name. I think I saw one Pan Writer, but I just want to be sure the different platform already being a lawyer. I mean, documentation, compliance, and all of these things is already what I do. But then I've been utilizing ChatGPT and it has been amazing actually. But then seeing this advanced tool, these tools are like way advanced than ChatGPT when it comes to contract drafting. So I want to have like a list of the tools that you mentioned. How do I get them? Do I download them from Play Store? Are they free version? Are they paid version? How can we access all of these tools? Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you very much for that. Like you said, one of the tools is Pan Writer. That's the one that allows you, because like I said, with these tools you have to look at them as a programming environment. So it's not like Microsoft Word or like Acrobat PDF reader. So this is a tool that actually allows you, say for instance now, say to convert any form, like for instance now, this can help you convert. If I open this file now, it can help you convert your Microsoft Word document. So this is a Word doc, because you can't analyze a Word document directly in a programming environment, but it allows you to convert a document. So if I import, let me go and import that document now. What's the name? Sample. So it allows you to convert a Word document into a markdown. That's like a format in which the analysis tool can see. So you can see it converted that, because with this now you have a lot more information and it strips the document of a lot of things. So this is actually free. It's called Pan Writer. So if you go to, I think the website is this is the website panwriter.com. It's actually free. You can download that tool on panwriter.com. It's a Markdown editor. It works for Mac OS, Windows, and Linux. Now, the other tool is actually our own tool that we build, and it's sort of like a commercial tool that we use, that we sort of, give to, or it's a commercial tool that we sell to, companies, legal firms, and all that. And at the end of the day, it's not just about the tool, to be honest. It is in the usage, in the utilization of the tool, for it. That's proprietary to us. So that's what I was showing you. I was just trying to use it to explain, that there are other tools, like I said, but these are foreign tools and they are very, very expensive for students. But what we have is we can, we can have a package, maybe through Hilltop Solicitors, to have a package for students who want to now use the tool, even do training, and then you can leverage it for your activities. But for the pan writer, this one is actually free that you can use for your document conversion.
Okay, amazing. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. I will personally reach out to you concerning the other tools and then the packages. I'm certain Madam Deborah will even give us more direction as to that. Now, I also want to ask, because personally, I'm starting like this. Like I started like a virtual law firm, so to say, and then I have like a website, and I've been desiring having a scenario whereby somebody can come on my website and then request for so and so documentation, and have it like this automation process, have it delivered to them, with maybe giving them opportunity to make one or two alterations. So how do I achieve something like that?
Oh, yes. Unfortunately, this is not this class is short. Like, we have a platform as well for that, which, like in my profile, you read something about the Bionic box. So we have a platform where, you don't have to be a programmer. All these things that you say, maybe in another forum, another class, or another lecture, where we'll talk about how you can even build exactly what you've just said. You have a website, you can even put a chat bot on it where people can query, for documents, and they'll be able to receive, we can also assist in that. It is very, very, very possible, and also give you that platform where you can, create a lot of these things. Maybe, I don't know if there's room for another session outside of this. We'll be able to put you through on that. But what I've seen is a lot of these things is that it's not about the tool or about the idea that you have. It's about you understanding and knowing what you want to do. So the training, the capacity exercise building is actually much more important, so that once you learn it, it'll be very easy for you to go and integrate into your website. So maybe your top solicitors will do another session where we'll now look at a use case like the one you have just said. That's very, very possible.
Thank you so much, sir. That was amazing. Thank you, sir. That will be all from my end. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you, ma. We can hear you, ma.
We can hear ma.
Yes, very well, Dr. Olu. Thank you so much.
Okay, so Edima was asked to speak. I have a question. Hello?
Okay. Yeah, okay.
Okay. So first of all, let me apologize for my speaker being on. That was my mistake. Then my question is, please, can you just share with us available job opportunities in this field? Like, because I'm someone that prefers, okay, after a class, I want to know how I can actually practicalize it, and then it's of benefit to me in my life, not just accumulating knowledge and then not able to earn from it. So if you can just share like available job opportunities for us in this field, I would really appreciate that.
Oh, there are a lot of available job opportunities, but you see, what is actually lacking is the knowledge. There are a lot of, if you go on LinkedIn, for instance, and you just search for AI in the legal profession, or AI, there are loads of opportunities. But you see, the way a lot of these job opportunities come, they're not just looking for somebody who has expertise in law or AI. They need somebody who has core expertise in both fields. So that means that for you to even apply for those jobs, you also have to have developed yourself to a certain level, which is why I think this kind of program is very, very beneficial, to students, because these are the things that will lead into that. So from what you have learned here now, I'm sure, depending on the legal practice you want to go into, try and start to see how you can use technology, how you can use AI into infusing them, so that when these job opportunities come, then go on LinkedIn. Just go on LinkedIn and say, even in Nigeria here, there are loads of legal, there are lots of even telcos, banks looking for expertise, because so many people there's this jackpot syndrome. So a lot of organizations are losing staff. So they're looking for, but they don't just want to take people who do not have the skills to come and, they are not interested in first class or whatever you have. They are not interested in people that can actually do the job. So this is now an opportunity for anybody to take. It's a new field, AI and legal discipline. It's a very new field. That anybody that takes it up upon, and you understand the AI, and then you merge it with the your legal studies, you will be absolutely phenomenal. The jobs will be chasing you. You won't be chasing the jobs.
Thank you,
Okay,
sir.
good afternoon,
Miss
everyone.
Mercy.
I just wanted to add something quickly.
Okay.
My name is Chidera,
Okay,
and
ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Dr. Shay introduced me earlier, the general manager at Hyperspace. So I just wanted to add to the last question about the job opportunities in around AI. So it's very important that we know that AI basically works with data. So if you're able to use data and incorporate it in your own industry, you'll be able to find a niche. And he also spoke about prompt engineering, where you're able to program the AI model, so to say, in the way you want it to function. So prompt engineering is also a way that you can actually carve a niche in your field. There are tools that can help you become very good at prompting. And like you said, prompt engineering is basically just, programming an AI tool in natural language. Currently, we use prompts in very short terms, like, oh, you want to find an information from a model. You just say, oh, what is so, like we use ChatGPT. But there are other ways that you can prompt a model, and you so to say derive maximum result. So it's like what you feed the AI model, that's the what's it called? That's the output that you get from it. So prompt engineering is actually a very key area of AI. So it's a way where you actually merge your data with programming. So it's like programming, but in natural language. So excuse me, prompt engineering is like a way you can actually kind of derive maximum intelligence using AI models. So it's AI is like merging data with intelligence, with human intelligence. That's why AI won't steal people's jobs. It's people that are inclined or more inclined in the areas where AI specializes that will steal jobs. So prompt engineering, I feel like is some kind of area that you can actually build on, and that way it will help you, realize, and it will help you know to use AI tools better, and also how to merge AI in your current industry or in your current field. So that's just what I wanted to say.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, ma. Thank you, ma.
All right, thank
Miss
you.
Mercy, you're raising up your hand. So do you have a question?
Yes, yes, I do. Good afternoon. Thank you very much to our lecturer for the wonderful lecture. Now, my question is, since AI deals with information that it's being fed with, how is it possible to check whatever information that is gotten from it, such that it doesn't give more than one person the same set of information? That's one. And then the second one is, how do you check plagiarism with AI? The fact that, hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Okay. Being since we're dealing with a whole lot of data, and then it doesn't get to, is it possible for it to like tell you, okay, this is the source of my information, so that when you're now using it as your own, maybe in terms of, okay, you're presenting the document or whatever as your own, it will not like fail that plagiarism test. Those are my questions.
Okay, those are two very important questions. So the first one is how do you make sure that the data, the way AI is, the way we've used it here, we've used it to analyze our own document. So it's document. So let's say you have a particular document you want to analyze. It's just going to read what is in that document and it's going to give it to you. So it can actually do that. And then obviously, like you said, it can is the data you feed it in. So if you feed it, when we did our examples, I can't be analyzing an agreement and it's giving me data from a proposal or a non-disclosure, another document. So it's data that I feed it in, which is where your prompting comes in as well. You have to be able to prompt it to get exactly what you want out of it. And the second one of plagiarism, yeah, there are tools that can check it. And then there's a way, most AIs now, when you use it, it can cite, like remember when one of the examples we did, we said you should cite the location of, when we're doing the compliance audits, I will cite the page, cite the section of this document. So a lot of the AIs can actually do citations as well. So you can use the citation, in your final analysis. So AIs, to be honest with you, AI has come to stay. We have to embrace it. It will take some time to, just like every other thing, computers, internet, but we're all using all these tools today. Yeah, there will be a bit of some errors here and there, but over time, you find out that somebody using AI, just in this training alone, we've used AI to analyze 3 or 4 documents that will have taken maybe, a week or 2 weeks of human, and then we've done it. So take it upon, learn the skill, learn prompt engineering, learn how to prompt, learn how to do, and you can sell that service. You can actually sell that service because people are looking for people who can do, real prompt engineering. So that's how I would answer that question.
All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. So,
Okay,
so
thank you, sir.
yeah.
Hassan.
We'll just take one more
Has
question because I need to be at another training program by 2.
okay, sir. Miss Hassanat, please, can you ask your question quickly?
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, sir, for that insightful session. I've worked on a research recently that talked about the nexus between AI and law. And I also came across case text and several other AI tools like Premonition, Lex Machina, and the rest. However, one thing I realized was that many AI systems operate as black boxes. So this, especially the ones that use predictive analytics. So how will we address the challenge of transparency? Do you think if the law would require explainability for these AI tools, would it compromise how effective they are? Or do you think we need it for accountability? Because we know that in the legal sphere, our decisions have like significant consequences. So do you think that requiring explainability for these tools is like, do you think it will make them effective or counterproductive? I just want to know your thoughts on that, sir.
And that is a very, very beautiful question. The way I would answer it is that, when technology is new, people are always very, and it's normal. We are all usually very skeptical. Like, it's like when the Wright brothers created a plane as well, and something that could fly in the air. There were all sorts of, legal battle. What if it crashes? Do we still have plane crashes? Of course we still do. But do we need air travel? Of course we do. So there are going to be a lot of these things at the beginning where people are going to be asking for explainability. It's just like the internet too. When internet came and everybody could have email, it could be on the internet. Some people were like, why would I put my information on the internet? Why would I put my picture on the internet? Why would I put a report on it? But now everybody is doing it. So I guess over time, yes, at the beginning, people are going to say, but over time, as the technology itself matures and we start to find use cases for them, maybe the breakthrough point will be when maybe one day, an AI court case, just on its own, by prompting and all that. Maybe it will be a realization that, look, this thing has come to stay. Just like now we have robots doing operations, procedures in the medical field. That's how it's adopted. So what I would just say is, let's be patient. Yes, there will be explainability. Yes, there are some of these things that are still black box, like some of the models, open AI, nobody knows the data that they used in training it, which is why we champion what we call the retrieval augmented generation, where you have your own data. So for instance, now, if you're a law firm, which is why you often hear data is the new oil now, because once you have data, so assuming as you and I, you've been doing your research, you've been collating data over 5 years, over 10 years, that only you have access to. You can train an AI model on that data itself, and then you now be able to explain, the data that was fed into the AI. But at the moment, because everybody's still, nobody's building a model other than OpenAI and Anthropic and all this, and you don't really know the data that they've used. So what you can do, what we are championing, is bring your data. So if you have your case files, you have your legal documents, you have your materials, you put it in the AI, and then you train an AI on it. That way it becomes a lot more explainable. But as we go along, as the technology itself matures, a lot of things will become, clearer. But at the meantime, this is an opportunity to get on board as a legal practitioner, use it, explain it to people as well, affect policymakers. And the only way you can affect them is also understanding the technology that goes into it, so that when these policies are being formulated, all these things are coming out, you would also be, you'll have had an input in them from an informed perspective. I think, that's the way I would answer that. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
sir. Thank you
Thank you
very
so
much.
much, sir. Please, I know
Yeah.
that we are short of time, but there's just one more question that I would like you to answer. Please.
Okay.
What's the nexus between AI and blockchain?
There isn't, there are two different fields, actually. There are two different emerging technologies. AI is artificial intelligence, non-human intelligence. It comes to allow us to, make decisions of our data. Now, blockchain is different in that the aim of blockchain is to disintermediate. So the aim of blockchain, while AI is augmenting the work of lawyers, the truth of the matter is that blockchain just wants to take out lawyers. It wants you to use smart contracts without lawyers. So those are the two differences. So now, for instance, now if I give you an example of will writing, like for instance, if I have a will now, who is going to draft the will for me? It's going to be a lawyer. But you see, blockchain is saying you may not even need a lawyer for that. So you can put your will on the blockchain such that if you give it a time, it will self-execute, and there won't be any bias. There won't be any, it was a lie. The will is fake. So it uses what we call smart contracts. Smart contracts are contracts that are written in code that you put on the blockchain that they execute by themselves without needing a third party. So while AI is augmenting the work of legal professionals, is speeding up your work, a legal professional still has to, do all the agreement writing, formulation, review, and all that. Smart contract is simply saying, you know what, you can codify a lot of these contracts into code itself and put it on the blockchain, and then it will self. So it's almost as if he wants to disintermediate banks. Wants to any place you have middlemen, rent seeking, like banks now. Like if you use crypto, you find out that you can send money from one person to the other without a bank. So blockchain's purpose is disintermediation, while AI's purpose is augmentation.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. That will be the last question we will take for today. Thank you so much
Yeah.
for the session.
Thank you.
Please, can we welcome
Thank you
the
very much.
pioneer,
Thank you.
Mrs.
Thank you.
Deborah Oni?
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much, great moderator. And thank you so much, Dr. Olushi. I am short of words to really use to qualify this session and to express my gratitude to you on behalf of myself and the whole community of the Hilton Top Solicitors. I mean, this is a mind-blowing session. Yes, let the emojis keep coming in for Dr. Sheyi. This is greatly insightful. And I would say, if I was just imagining while the session was going on, yeah, I had my video turned on, but I was taking note as well, doctor. And then I said, wow, if you were to charge me and be like, to come to this session, you were going to like charge an amount. I was just trying to imagine the amount of dollars and how I'm sure we wouldn't be able to afford you. That's just what I'm trying to say. Like, I know that there are paid sessions of some of these kind of master classes and some of these kind of sessions, and yet they are not so detailed enough. I really want to appreciate your time and for sharing this wealth of knowledge. I mean, within how many hours you've been able to download a huge amount of the knowledge that you have garnered over the past 25 years, and just giving us a snippet into it. It's like like we've been under your session, under your class, your tutelage for so long, and I can tell you for free that I'm still going to be reaching out to you to see what we can really put together and organize for my community to be able to, you know, help empower these women into this emerging tech space where I am so passionate about. And I really want to say thank you for coming to give all this to us on this platform for free and to help empower the next generation of female legal talent. And thank you for sharing in this vision also of the fact that there's a need for the legal professionals to be in this space and for them to have this kind of knowledge. And for, I do personally know that your schedules are very, very tight, and taking out this time, this sacrifice to make this sacrifice and be here today, I do not take it for granted. And I know that every member of the team and every member of these amazing ladies that are here, both the ones that are not able to avail themselves as a result of sessions in their schools and all that, I know when they watch the replay, the ones that are not available will definitely know that they have missed. I really want to say a very big thank you to you, and of course to your team member who also came with you, Chidera, the managing partner, right? Thank you so much, Doctor. I really appreciate you. And I know that the amazing ladies will be following you already. I do urge you, or I implore you to go and share these great lessons that you have gotten from Dr. Sheyi on LinkedIn and other social media platforms where he's available. I know he's heavily present on LinkedIn. So tag him in your lessons, connect with him and share, you know, your lessons, tag him. And I'm sure if you have other questions, because I know that, like he said, he has other meetings, so we can probably forward those questions to him, or as you reach out to him, he'll look for time to be able to respond to that. So thank you so much, Dr. Shea. I don't want to keep you further. Thank you, and thank you, Chidera, for coming with him. We do appreciate you for a greatly insightful session. We're most grateful.
Thank you very much for having us. It's been our pleasure, and we all wish all the legal luminaries, like I said, my new learned friends.
Yeah.
One or two people will take the AI thing on board and probably make a difference in the Nigerian legal landscape. Thank you for having us. It's been a pleasure.
Very well, very well. So I'll reach back to you, and then we'll discuss further. Thank you so much. My regards.
Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you,
very
sir.
much. Thank
Yes.
you.
Okay, ladies, before we go, I would like to make this announcement. Just like Madam Deborah said, please go ahead and make a post about what you learned on social media, and make sure you tag the speakers and the firm and Madam Deborah. And also, if you are interested in the certificates after the internship program, please do apply through the link on the website. Thank you very much for being here. And thank you very much, Madam Deborah, for this session. I learned a lot myself as a moderator. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you very much. I do appreciate you. I appreciate every member of the volunteer team. Please, yes, we meet tomorrow for the session on forensics. So details of that will be shared by the volunteer team, to everyone. So thank you, our great moderator for today, and thank you, Sarah. Thank you, amazing ladies. Do enjoy the rest of your day. And the link, like she said, for the certificate is on the website. We'll probably copy it and share with you also. If you know you're interested in the certificate, you need to indicate early enough for us to prepare for it. So tomorrow we meet again by 12 as announced by our moderator. God bless you. Enjoy the rest of your day. And I'm sure before tomorrow's session, you'll get the recordings already on the Google Classroom. We've been having some issues trying to upload the second day session. So thank you all. We'll get back to you and see you
Thank you,
tomorrow.
Ma.
Bye.
Thank you so
God
much.
bless.
Thank
Yeah.
you, madam.
Thank you, Ma.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Ma.
Thank you. Bye. God bless
Thank
you.
Thank
you.
you.
Bye.
Thank you, Ma.
Enjoy your early weekend.